Now that's just another groove to kickstart your morning.
That's right. Good morning, Fiji. It's Gold FM bringing you the classic hits to fine-tune your morning.
And Fila still trying to fine-tune her voice.
And as always, Pedali still trying to wake up.
Now this is where you'll find us every morning from Monday to Friday.
On Daybreak with Pedali and Fina from 6 to 9. Join us.
News tonight, Fijian troops in Sinai told to stay alert in light of the conflict in Egypt. Exclusive broadcast deals for national events and major sports to be scrapped. And Sri Lankan company ready to make changes at Fiji's ports. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spade and you're watching FBC News. The Fiji Military Forces is monitoring the situation in Sinai as fighting from within Egypt spreads into areas under the control of Fijian troops on peacekeeping duty. Land Force Commander Colonel Mosese Tikoitonga told FBC News that the contingent isn't involved in the fighting, but stray bullets are a cause for concern. Abisalom Idokar reports.
Fijian soldiers are stationed in El Gora, Rafah and Al Arish along the Egyptian border with Israel. Rebels fighting in the Egyptian government are said to be hiding in areas under the multinational force of observers.
Now, in our deployment areas, our people are getting shot at, other locations are getting shot at from stray fires. There's a lot more military operations conducted by the Egyptian force against the militias that are living amongst our troops in the Sinai Peninsula. So it's not a safe deployment anymore.
Colonel Mosese Tikoitonga says there is constant communication with those in charge of the troops in Sinai.
We're continuously getting our brief every day from Sinai on the difficulty that we're facing and the actions of the multinational force and observers hierarchy to ensure that we maintain the mandate that are required of us.
For now, the Fiji contingent has been told to stay alert and stay out of harm's way. There is no talk of the troops being pulled out. Meanwhile, the 511 soldiers in the Golan Heights have been singled out as exemplary servicemen and women.
In all honesty, nobody can do that work better than the Fijians. And that has been acknowledged by the senior executives of the troops in Golan Heights, including the force commander.
No additional troops will be sent to the Golan Heights. The RFNF is preparing the next batch to relieve those who left in the first contingent.
Oh, at the moment, we've got a ceiling of troops. There are now Indians there, Indian troops. There is Irish troops and Norwegian troops, and the Nepalis with us, Fijians. So there's 5 contingent.
Fiji has 1,040 soldiers on peacekeeping duties in the Middle East. Abisalom Idokar, FBC News.
Broadcasters may soon no longer be able to obtain exclusive rights over national events and sports tournament coverages. A listenership and viewership survey by the Communications Department will guide a new government policy on how events are to be covered by broadcast media. Chanel Sivan reports.
The department is looking for market research companies to conduct the survey covering radio and television penetration rates, market share of different broadcasters, and audience preferences. The findings also, amongst other things, will give an indication of how to share coverage of important events.
Put in simple terms, for example, at the moment, there's a major sporting event which all Fijians are interested in, whether it's a Rugby World Cup, Soccer World Cup. At the moment, the television stations are all bidding amongst each other to get the rights to show that. Acting Prime Minister Yasir Kayum says at the end of the exercise, Fijians can be assured they won't miss out due to exclusive coverage rights. So if, for example, FBC gets the rights to a particular sporting event, and in that area you cannot catch FBC, you can catch only FBCTV. So those Fijians living in that area will miss out, or conversely. So the idea is that the Minister for Sports, in conjunction with the Minister for Communications, would designate certain events, in particular sporting events, to be shown on all the TV stations.
Once the policy is in place, companies will have to share the bidding cost according to the percentage of viewership confirmed by the survey. Syed Kayum has confirmed as far as television coverage is concerned, all the three broadcasters, FBCTV, Fiji TV and My TV, will be considered. The non-exclusive coverage will not apply to events which the Minister for Sports does not deem as being of national importance. Shanal Shivan, FBC News.
The search is underway for a new police commissioner. The Secretary of the Constitutional Officers Commission and Acting Solicitor General Sharvada Sharma is calling for applications from suitable and qualified individuals for the position. The vacancy exists following the departure of Brigadier Ioane Naivalurua after his contract expired last month. Applications close on Friday, October 25th. A Chinese national has pleaded guilty to failing to declare foreign currency. Fan Wang was detained last Friday after $80,000 was seized in her luggage at the Nandi International Airport. Christopher Chand was in court this morning.
The 24-year-old arrived on a Korean Air flight last Friday morning. Authorities were alerted when she started acting in a suspicious manner. Customs officials noted that Fan Wang was not making eye contact and took her time when answering questions. On her arrival card, she had ticked no, where it asks travelers if they're carrying more than 10,000 Fijian dollars. A customs officer then wrote the letter A on Wang's arrival card to alert other officials to check her belongings thoroughly. Upon inspection, officials found 4 bundles of notes in her first suitcase, stacked underneath her clothes. Another 4 bundles were found in a second bag. The 8 bundles contained US currency of $80,000. Wang was taken to police for investigation, and while in custody, she said that she had overlooked the issue and was apologetic. She first appeared in court on Monday and was granted bail. Her travel documents were seized and a stop departure order was issued against her. Magistrate Penin Dalituidama has adjourned the case to October 8th for sentencing. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Chris now joins us live from the West Office. Chris, can you give us more details about her plea in court today?
Yes, Jackie, she was represented by legal aid lawyer Chiuta Langilangi, who filed her mitigation saying that she was here with her mother as a tourist on a 4-month holiday. Langilangi told the court that Wang had traveled for 12 hours and was tired after the flight. She had overlooked the section on the arrival card, assuming that it was similar to China, where more than $50,000 is declared, and she had forgotten that the money was in her possession. Police prosecutor ASP Anil Prasad highlighted this was a serious case and that such crimes are increasing on our borders.
Thanks so much for that, Christopher. 6 elections experts are due to visit Fiji over the next 2 months to assist with various aspects of the 2014 polls. New Zealand, Australia and the European Union will each be providing 2 people. Minister for Elections Ayaz Syed Kayum says the list of elections experts was finalized yesterday at a meeting with development partners, including representatives from Australia, New Zealand and the European Union. They will review the gap analysis reports and work with the government and the Elections Office. They'll also work with the soon-to-be appointed Electoral Commission to finalize planning for all aspects of the election. Syed Kayum adds the experts will identify polling stations, develop a specific list of material needs, draft the rules and regulations that will guide the electoral process, and establish a fair and transparent system for the hiring of election staff. After the break, senior citizens recognized for their contributions to Fiji.
Hi, I'm Sophie.
And I'm Tix.
You can join us on The Breakfast Show
Every weekday from Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. right here on Today FM.
That's right.
Nimbula, methangu nimilote na isorotumboa. Nama kia uminarua kinaona na vekavi moniti kina vakarombuka. Rongo mena biasana kina vibaga barota kinin reko malolo. Ena Radio Fiji 1 na wongani pioniano. Ngai nama kia kina.
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. The Public Accounts Committee, in its review of the Auditor General's report of December 2009, has criticized the Ministry of Works. The committee report states millions of dollars had either been misused or not accounted for as a result of unsupervised work, mismanagement, corruption, and abuse of authority by previous administrations. A consultancy agreement worth $5 million was signed with Roten International for the Kings and Londoni Road upgrade in 1998. When the deal was cancelled in 2008, the company had been paid $11.4 million, an overpayment of more than $8 million. The third Fiji Road upgrading project cost $249 million up to December 2008 against a budget of $171 million, an over-expenditure of more than $77 million. In 2001, Chinese company Covec was given a $57 million contract to upgrade the Kings and Londoni Road. In 4 years, only 35% of the work was completed. The Public Service Commission is working with the RFMF in training civil servants to lift the standard of service delivery. While opening the Middle Managers Training in Suva today, PSC Permanent Secretary Pramesh Chand said the program is aimed at ensuring effective and accountable leadership. Vosita Kotewasawasa reports.
These managers will be trained to ensure that there are no corrupt practices within their various ministries and departments. The Public Service Commission says those taking part in the program will be trained on effective techniques of communication, administration, investigation and inquiry.
You are expected to provide sound advice and support to senior management, as well as impart your skills to subordinate officers. Your role in public service, of course, is also to complement our collective efforts to eradicate abuse, mismanagement, as well as corruption.
Chand adds, while training is vital in raising the standards of service delivery within the civil service, implementation is always the testing ground.
To continue to instill in the public service an attitude of change related work culture, and we need to change in the manner in which we respond to serving ordinary members of the public. We also need to have a changed attitude in the way we look after our properties.
61 participants had already undergone similar training with the RFMF, and Chan says that incorporating discipline in training is essential for every institution. Vasita Kotiwasawasa, FBC News.
Fiji senior citizens are asking for better treatment as we mark Senior Citizens Day today. Events were held in different parts of the country, paying tribute to the efforts of those who helped make Fiji what it is. Shireen Lata reports.
They aren't asking for much, not money or accolades. Our elders simply want support and respect, especially from the younger generation.
Nowadays, a lot of difference. We have these young ones, they are really not respecting the old.
For all their years, caring for their children and contributing to the economy through hard work, senior citizens deserve some appreciation.
Looking after the parents, elderly people, it's more blessings than whatever you can think about. You get millions of dollars in your life.
The government has already set up programs and services for the social protection for older persons, including bus fare concessions and a pension scheme.
The National Council of Older Persons Decree of 2012 supports the official establishment of a specific council that will serve to implement the key activities entailed in the National Aging Policy.
Globally, the proportion of the older persons is increasing at a faster rate than the general population. In Fiji, more than 3,000 people are expected to be added to the 60-plus age bracket every year. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
The newly appointed CEO of the Media Industry Development Authority, Mataya Kola, says a Pacific ombudsman will not work. Pacific media stakeholders debated self-regulation and the proposed Pacific Media Ombudsman at a summit in Vanuatu 2 weeks ago. Ritika Pratap reports.
The idea of a Pacific Media Ombudsman was first brought up at a PINA summit in 2009 and was again brought up at a recent Pacific Media Partnership Summit. The proposal was for an ombudsman to enforce standards and look into complaints on a regional level.
Places like Great Britain, they have an ombudsman in the organization. Say for instance, if it's FBCTV, you have an ombudsman in the organization. So that ombudsman looks at how things work out or acts like a media council within the organization.
Matei Akola questions how a Pacific Ombudsman will monitor media outlets across the Pacific if such an office is established.
Because if you have a Pacific Ombudsman, how will they try and control things in Fiji if they are sitting in places like Samoa, Tonga? What jurisdiction do they have? They have not. They haven't got those mechanisms in place.
Akola worked with PINA for the last 6 years and today started as MIDA Chief Executive. He says PINA has been trying to strengthen national media associations in member countries after they were found to be dysfunctional, divided and struggling to cope.
One of the key things that a media authority would like to see is the setting up of a Fijian Media Association and the various stakeholders that connect to that, so that things are working on the ground rather than we just have good titles but it doesn't translate.
The issue of a Pacific Ombudsman remains on the cards for the members of the Pacific Media Partnership. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
And we've reached that time. Jamie joins us now with all the latest in sports. What do you have for us?
Good evening. I have lots in sports, Jackie. Ben Ryan and the Courts Inter-District Championship. We take a look at all the details after the break.
Isambolo binaka. Nadhango wadi soni dalai. Nama kyo mani wasini ngono borota kina lali ne kabi. Maina tolu kina bitu. Ena moni tingina por rombuka. Ena Mbula FM. Na bandu ena serre.
सूरज की पहली किरण के साथ दिन की शुरुआत कीजिए। सुबह का मंगल प्रभात आपको शुभ हो। सुबह सुबह हो खुशियों का मेला, ना लोगों की परवाह ना दुनिया का झमेला। पंछियों का संगीत हो और मौसम अलबेला। मुबारक हो आपको ये खूबसूरत सवेरा। हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक सुबह 6 से लेकर 9 बजे तक शामिल रहें रेडियो फिजी 2 पर हम सफर में रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।
Welcome back to FBC Sports. It's official. New Fiji Sevens rugby coach Ben Ryan has arrived in the country and is ready to get started with work at Rugby House. Ryan arrived at the Nadi International Airport with his wife this afternoon before being escorted by Fiji referee Patrick Gock. With little to say to the media today, Ryan has previously made his stance clear on the plans he has for Fiji Sevens. He won't be looking to change the overall philosophy of Fiji's game style, but he will be introducing a more professional approach to the team, which will be named tomorrow afternoon in Suva. The Jacks Nandi football side has been in good form this year, but consistency has been lacking with the team. Now with the Courts IDC just around the corner, the team has been working hard to regain the title, which last rested in the Jet Set town in 2002. Here's Indra Singh with more on the Green Machine.
The Green Machine of Nandi has had a mixed bag of results this season. Having won the Fiji Fact, the side finished second in the league, but didn't even make the semi-finals at the Battle of the Giants.
In the Fiji Fact and BOG, we actually we lost our first game in the Fiji Fact and in the BOG. So we know how tough it's to get back into the tournament if we lose the first game. And knowing now will be tough because they've been training for the last 4 weeks, so we need to go out with confidence and win the first game, absolutely.
The last IDC win came in 2002, and since then the side has not gotten close to the Lloyd Fairbrother Trophy. However, the Jet Setters are keen to ensure they don't give up without a fight in Lautoka next weekend.
This is our third week into the preparation, and we started 2 weeks ago. This is our third week. It's going well. Bit of a break for the boys after the last BOG, so we're trying to get the fitness up to level and hoping that we can get the fitness on par by end of this week.
Coach Kamal Swami has been working tirelessly trying to ensure his brigade is ready for the biggest battle of the year. The side has all its regulars to choose from, and with so much talent at his disposal, Swami can be forgiven for being confident. However, come Sunday week, we will know if Nandy's drought is finally over. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the Nandronga football side is working hard to try and sustain its performance from the Battle of the Giants. After reaching the semi-final at the BOG, they're now in camp for the biggest tournament of the year. However, team officials are not banking on the past, knowing too well what lies ahead.
There are some minor hiccups, like in a training session is going well, but we will take each game at a time, and time is really short for us. But at the end of the day, we're trying to achieve greater heights than what we did at BOG. We cannot rely on the past results. Tomorrow is another day, it's another game, and teams are very well prepared. Bigger teams, they have better coaches, they have better facilities. Just for our president, our officials are trying very hard.
Nandronga plays Suva in its first match at the IDC on Thursday week. Former Saru Dragons player Penny Mbotiki is one of the 3 latest inclusions in the Vodafone Fijian party squad for the Rugby League World Cup. Missing out on the initial selection after the Vodafone Battle of the Mbati trial, the 24-year-old remained optimistic and will now line up with the team for the World Tournament. Tsalenda Dakadaka reports.
Having had a taste of international footy in 2010, this second rower will add another feather to his cap next month. Jared Haynes' inclusion in the Kangaroo squad has opened the door for this Sydney-based rugger.
Being called up again in the squad, I'm so excited and I'm really happy. And I want to thank everyone for working hard, and especially my family and all the organizing for the Rugby League.
The 2012 Australia Fijian Mbati Player of the Year was still in shock that his dream to play in a World Cup will soon become a reality.
Yeah, it's been really a really long process, and playing on the Mbati since my debut in 2009. But I really want a World Cup, to play in the World Cup. But this is, I'm so excited and so happy to be back.
The squad assembles in Nandi next Monday, minus one of their standout players.
Only one player will not be attending the week-long camp, and that is Eloni Bunakele. He's currently attending to club commitments in England, in France, and he'll join the team from France and travel across to England.
With the final pieces of our Vodafone Fijian Mbati puzzle now in place, all eyes will be on Rick Stone's men as they prepare for their World Cup challenge in England. Tsalendo Dakavak, FBC Sports.
Last-minute logistic issues have prevented bodybuilding's Mr. Fiji, Voniriti Randua, as well as Judge Ratu Melina Vuto from participating in the New Zealand Bodybuilding Championship in Auckland this month. But all isn't lost for the veteran duo, who will settle for a trip and chance to compete in the South Pacific Championship in Tonga. Now, Vuto will be a shoe-in on the judges panel for the event on October 22nd. 59-year-old Randua proved he still has the goods to outclass his younger local competitors and maintains his Mr. Fiji status. Randua will head the Fiji bodybuilding team with the hope of outflexing 9 other Pacific Island competitors in the build-up to the 2015 Pacific Games in Papua New Guinea. That's it from Sports Tonight. It's back to Jackie with business.
Increasing the productivity of Fiji's ports will be the first order of business for Sri Lankan company Aitken Spence. Chanel Sivan says the port's management experts will begin operations in a few months.
The company was welcomed into Fiji Ports Terminal at an event in Suva last night. Acting Prime Minister Yasayat Khayyum told the executives of Aitken Spence that the so-called Fiji time has been a problem for the ports.
We do like Fiji time, but not Fiji time at the ports. And in fact, that's why you have been invited to participate in this venture at Fiji ports, because we want to remove the Fiji time at the ports terminal to make us indeed a regional hub. Geographically, we are placed in the hub, and we need to take advantage of that.
Aitken Spence Chairman Rajan Brito, who arrived into Fiji yesterday, has already made some observations in what areas need improvements.
Mainly motivation and management, and getting people to work thinking around ships as opposed to working on our time. We have to work around ship owners' time so that more ships keep coming here and they can turn around fast, because ship time is very expensive.
Brito says productivity levels need to increase as soon as possible.
The moment ships come, they take their own cool time, taking out containers and putting it back, and ship owners have been complaining. They want to turn that around. So you'll find more ships also coming here in the future when our productivity improves.
Fiji Electricity Authority CEO Hasmukh Patel was last night announced as the new chair of the Ports Terminal Board. Shanal Shivan, FBC News.
That time again, Weather Girl, please tell us something good.
Oh, you love what I have for you today, Jackie. Beautiful weather in Lambasa, Nandi, Ba, Lautoka, and aside from some scattered cloud, beautiful weather in Suva. Savu on the other hand, and this is according to my report, had brief periods of cloudiness and showers. 27 in Savu is the lowest today. It was a different story for Ba and Lautoka. They were warmer on 30 degrees. Tomorrow sees clouds and showers on the chart, but overall, a gorgeous day to look forward to. And as my friend Penyasi says, you can tell 3/4 of tomorrow's weather just by looking at today's. So I have a really good feeling about Wednesday. Now for today's photo, and this is from Brittany of Simla in Lautoka. Citizens' Eyes at fbc.com.fj is the address for all your photos. And please, it doesn't have to be just sunrises or sunsets, so feel free to be original.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. The headlines again. Fijian troops in Sinai told to stay alert in light of the conflict in Egypt. Exclusive broadcast deals for national events and major sports to be scrapped following a broadcast survey. And Sri Lankan company ready to make changes at Fiji's ports. This week's question is, can Fiji defend its Gold Coast Sevens title? Visit the FBC website to take part. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. Until tomorrow, good night.
नमस्ते दोस्तों, मिर्ची रफ्तार से मैं अश्निल सिंह। शामिल हो जाइए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे फ्रॉम 3 to 7 PM।